Yeah, I remember when we was in high school and they would constantly, for some reason, as teenagers, remind us how girls are more mature than boys and girls mature faster than boys. Well, you want to know where society failed these teenage boys? The way society failed these teenage boys is because although they did tell them that girls are more and mature faster than boys, which that's a fact, right? They never told them that, well, they're not more mature than us when we become men, right? Women are not more mature than men. Teenage girls are more mature than teenage boys, but a woman is not more mature than a man. That message was never communicated to us. You know what I'm saying? And this video right here is gonna open up a conversation as to how some people never mature past their teenage years. This woman right here is a perfect example of that.
Age is just a number in my mind because I mentally feel younger than...
By the way, that's the PDF mindset right there. Age is just a number because that's the way that I feel, bro. That's the argument those motherfuckers make online, bro. Talking about, oh, I know I'm 52, but I feel 12. What? That's not a good way to start, lady.
I am, so we're ageless. You're only as old as you feel.
Wow. Are you?
I mean, she's 52, by the way. She's a 52-year-old woman. She looks great for 52, right? She ain't no fucking teenager. She don't look like no teenager. She don't look like no young person, period. She don't look like nobody under the age of 35. She could pass for 30, 38 probably. You know what I'm saying?
I feel as young as these girls sitting at the table.
Look at all their faces, man. Let's go back and look at them, man. Look at the white girl, man. She's looking at her like, what? You got the Asian girl just looking at her like, honey, you must not be serious. Then you have the white girl just kept looking straight like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, lady, you look like my grandma, girl. I know you feel young. I know you look good for 52, man. But no one understands that we are not in the same, we are not at the same category, man. Don't even try to go there. And then the guy at the end is like, what did she just say? He just looked to the right. His eyes just went like, who's gonna tell her?
I'm still...
Bro, the silence was so loud. He tried to save her. He should have just looked quiet for like another 15 seconds to see who was gonna break it.
a little confused. I don't know if I'm just a little slow or something.
No, you're not slow and you're not confused. You're absolutely right to think and feel everything you're feeling. She's feeling young, right? You feeling right.
I'm just confused.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. She said, I feel just as young as everybody here. Now listen, let's talk about maturity for a second, right? There's one thing that is true. The body ages quicker than the spirit. The body ages, the spirit does not, right? And let's look at how this is reflected in women, right? And how it affects them. Guys, there's this idea out there for some reason, man, that the prefrontal cortex develops at the age of 25, you know, that you're not really mature or know yourself until you're 25. And that is a load of fucking shit. I'm gonna explain to you guys why right now, right? I'm 34, right? When I was a kid, man, we was all raised, you gotta respect your elders. You gotta respect them just because they're old, right? I remember as young as 9, as young as 10, 11, 12, man, talking to certain older people, and I'm like, why do I have to respect this person when this person is less mature than I? Like, this person acts like a child, talks like a child. Like, what the fuck? And as teenagers, I know we've all felt this. When we were talking to an older person as 12, 13, 14, and we're like, I gotta respect you because of age, but you sound stupider than me, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys where that comes from, right? I am convinced this is not a scientific fact. This is a Broskee fact, right? Based on life experience and everything that I've seen in this world, man. I am convinced that people's maturity, right? Obviously, the foundation we're talking about, right? Because as you age and you get more experience, you build on top of it, right? But the foundation to an individual's maturity is built in between the ages of 15 and 17, and I am convinced of that. You want to know why? Because every single person I knew that was mature in between the ages of 15 and 17 went on to become a mature adult, right? At an emotional level, at a mental level, at a spiritual level, right? And the kids that I knew in high school that were extremely immature in between the ages of 15 and 17, man, I noticed that even in our 30s, I look at these people and I'm like, ain't no fucking way. I'm talking to the same person that the 15-year version of me was talking to. How many years ago was that? I'm 34. So 15, 30, 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago. Same exact person. They have the same sense of humor. They're into the same things. Like, nothing's changed. They have the same opinions and views on things. And you're like, there's no fucking way. There is no way that this person acts like a 15-year-old teenager, right? And they grow. They get into the 30s, acting and talking like one. They get into the 40s. They get into the 50s. They get into the 60s. I know plenty 60-years that I'm looking at them like, oh my God, like, how are you alive? Like, it's insane. If it took anything outside of fucking breathing, eating, and drinking water, you'd be dead. If one more thing was added to that, bro, that required a little thinking power, a lot of people would just flat out die. They would not make it, you know? So the fact that she's there saying that she feels, man, as young as those females there, show you 52, childless, no marriage, no man, nothing. right? Thinking she still has time. Those are the thoughts of a teenager, right? Oh, I have time. Oh, I'll figure it out later. Oh, that's not that serious. Oh, that's not far from now. Bro, crazy. And you could tell all the girls in the room were looking at her like, yo, who's gonna tell her? This freaking bitch is delusional. But guess what? It's not just her, man. There's a ton of women out there. And guys, when it comes to dating, I want you to understand, you could meet a 30-year-old woman, just know and understand that you are dating the maturity level of her 15 to 17-year-old self. I'm telling you that right now, people. I'm telling you, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, that shit don't make no sense. Oh, this, science, psychology, prefrontal cortex is a load of fucking shit. You wanna know why at 25 it feels like something clicks in our minds? I'm gonna tell you right now. The reason why around that age of 25 it feels like something clicks in our mind is because you already been an adult for, so from 18 to 22, 7 years. You've been an adult for 7 years. So you've been exposing yourself to the world for 7 years. For 7 years, you haven't necessarily had to rely on mommy and daddy to do everything for you. You understand? So you have 7 years of real life experience, and around the age of 25, all dreams, all that fantasy shit, you could be whatever you want. Yes, if you focus and you work hard and bullshit. People start to be like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, this is not what they told me it was. Bro, when we went to that orientation in high school graduating, they said the world is yours. You can be whatever you want to be. Just work hard. We all know that's a load of fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? We all know that's a load of fucking shit, man. It should be illegal for these people to communicate this message, man, to these young people. They should just be realistic and let them know, listen, guys, not everybody's going to be a winner in life, but not everybody's going to be a loser. But yeah, like, it should be illegal for them to communicate this message to these young people, man, because it's a lie. It's a freaking lie, man. So that's why so many grown men talk to their women. They'll be like, there is no way that I'm speaking to a 30-year-old person right now. 35-year-old person, 40-year-old person. There is no way this person feels like a child. It's because a lot of people just stuck in that teenage mindset. And a lot of the times it comes from trauma. You know, I'm not gonna be lying, right? It's not because these people are signing up to be like that. A lot of the times trauma keeps you at a certain age in your life, in your mind. And if you don't deal with that, you never move on. You feel me? So that's the reason. I mean, we've all had friends. We've all had fucking friends. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. With the party, the whole party scene, for example, right? If you guys don't know this, the party scene for men is supposed to end around 23, 24 max. You're not supposed to be 25 in a club. You're not supposed to. And I know people have extended that into their 40s, bro. I seen a video on TikTok the other day with a bunch of 30 plus old party, bro. It was like 6 p.m., bro. Everybody was getting, everybody looked old as fuck. Just in case you guys didn't know this, I'm going to tell you, 30 is old. If you're 30 or plus, you're old. You're not young. You're not young. We look better than the 30 years in the past, right? Because we eat better, we drink more water, we work out. You know, there's a lot. We actually think about our health. In the past, they didn't do none of that. They didn't believe in none of that shit, right? Life was harder also. We have a lot more available to us nowadays to keep us looking younger. You understand what I'm saying? But a 30-year-old man, a 30-year-old woman is not young. And men and women do not age the same, right? 30-year-old woman... I mean, her maternity, those fertile years are gone. Really, you only got a few left, you know, to really be able to have that first child. Listen, all doctors and everybody's always known this up until recent times with this whole woke bullshit. But everybody knew that once a woman climbs into her late 20s, man, to have her first child is not good. That is not a good thing, right? And man can have a child. I have a cousin whose grandfather had his dad. I think he was like 80, I think 82, some shit like that. 82 years of age. Yeah, he had a kid, man. Yeah, his father doesn't remember him at all. I mean, how could he? I think he died like 2 years later, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So men and women were very different in those ways. But I need you men to know and understand, man, that if you're speaking to an adult, if you're speaking to a woman and she acts and talks like a child that she's in her late 20s and 30s, you got to understand that that's the teenage version of her. You're going to marry a teenager, bro. And that's what you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your fucking life, a fucking teenager. And when life happens, and it happens to everybody, right? You're going to be dealing with real life situations with a teenager next to you. That's going to make it 10 times fucking harder. So y'all got to start looking to the maturity level of the female when you talk, man. And you could always hear it, man. If she's talking about partying, drinking, smoking, having fun, YOLO, you only live once, and trying to find herself, right? If she's using this kind of vocabulary, bro, it's over for you. And it flows naturally. It flows naturally. So the ones that are good and try to hide it, if you push long enough, you'll see it. You feel me? And a lot of you dudes need to stop pretending to be these good dudes when you meet these women, right? You got to act like the type of man that she does not want at that moment, which at that moment she's looking for a responsible dude, you know, to have kids with, you know, somebody who's going to be there for her and not going to abandon her. You can't act like that guy. You got to act like the guy that she's going to fuck on a one-night stand, right, and keep it moving until she finds a good dude, right? Because once she sees, oh, he's not a good dude, then she's going to move you to a different place in her mind, you know? She's like, oh, he's not what I'm looking for. Fuck, I can have fun with him. And once she falls for that one, then you already know, oh, I can't make her my girl. She was trying to fool me. You got to be smart, bro. These hoes don't smarten up. There's a reason they're all finding God in their late 20s, bro. Why? Because in religion, right, it's a known thing. Jesus saved me. God saved me, right? And the men are raised to believe in Jesus to the point where a lot of toxic, narcissistic, psychopathic people flee to religion because they know and understand that the people there are all for forgiveness, because this is what Jesus preaches, right? But, you know, the Bible also says you must, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to misquote it, but it says you must be gentle as a dove, but as wise as a serpent. You understand what I'm saying? And people forget they're wise as a serpent. Just because somebody tells you they've been saved and they're praying and they're going to church and they're dressing modest and they're hiding everything doesn't necessarily mean that they change, you know? Self-preservation is a real thing. And a lot of these women are just looking for somebody who's going to be responsible, right? When they're young, they don't want to be responsible, though. They want to have fun. But when they're old, they realize, oh, fuck, it's true. In life, you got to look for a responsible man, not a fun man. And once they come to this realization, because obviously their time right now, they're not that young anymore, they're not that good looking, they can't go to the club and get attention because everybody's chasing the 20, 21, 22-year-old girls. They can't compete. They cannot compete with the younger versions of themselves. Now they want to think straight. And unfortunately, it sucks because it's all an act, and you're gonna get caught up, man. You know, the only interest she has in you is to give her the babies, which is what she needs, pay the bills, buy her a house, and eventually make enough money to the point where she does the math and she's like, okay, if I get child support, all right, he's gonna pay the bills, he's gonna do this, I'm gonna get the house. All right, it makes sense now for me to kick him to the curb. And a lot of the times they wait for the kids to be self-sufficient, meaning they're probably like around already 7, 8 years old, you know, where they bathe by themselves, they eat by themselves, where they change themselves, where they do everything by themselves, right? In between around no later than probably like 9 or 12, bro. That's when they say, I don't need this dude no more. These kids do everything by themselves. I don't have to rely on him. I don't need his help. Deuces without the index fingers. That's what's happening out there, people, man. Be safe, man. You got to protect yourself, man. But always know and understand that the person that's in front of you should sound like their age. If they do not, you need to understand that they're one of those people that never matured past high school. Talk less, do more is an embodiment of the spirit that the Broskee carries, because around here, we don't talk about it, we be about it. So if you want to help support and grow the Broskee army, the Broskee channel, the Broskee movement, go out there and get yourself a little water bottle, man. If you're out there hitting them gyms, man, get yourself a little coffee mug to remind yourself, man, stop talking so much, man, and start doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you have some goals you're trying to attack, man, and you want to attach yourself to a meaning that's going to empower you, go cop that right now, man. The link is in the description box, man. Y'all see it below, man. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and I see you next time. Peace!